Got it?
Oh, there you go. Sorry. All right, I think we're ready, right?
Yeah, and I just have to do that thing where turn our voice down. There we go. Woo.
Good afternoon, folks. This is your fake news now.
Good afternoon to all of us. So, do you have anything you wanted to particularly discuss yourself?
Honestly, I've been so overwhelmed this past week. I
Really?
I had Yom Kippur, I had like October 7th, like I had, Danny having a procedure. I had
Right?
my thing with the National Storytellers.
How did that go?
It was great.
Yeah,
I couldn't edit the number of photos I had down any further than like 45. So I
mhm.
only got to like 20 something of them,
Okay.
but like it was still a lot of fun and you know,
It's
slightly
important to
embarrassing
honor
that
those
I had to
things,
talk
right?
about myself.
Yeah, yeah, and it's important to mark those milestones. So, I'm glad you were able to do that. Congratulations. Were there a lot of other journalists, or is it just pretty much your particular anniversary?
Oh, it wasn't like an anniversary per se, like that he was just honoring me because I had been
Oh,
doing,
cool. Very good.
you know.
Nice, nice.
So
Cool. All right. Well, that's good. I bring a tiny bit of news that I thought was interesting, and that is that apparently MAGAs are in their panties are in a bit of a bunch because statistically they are being suspended online in like record numbers, and Democrats are not being suspended online. So obviously this is a problem to anybody that doesn't think through this and realize that like there actually have been studies like I'm not going to make us watch this, but like I think the study was done by geez, who was it? Yale University, MIT has all these people did a study on like the hashtags that different MAGA use versus the liberal hashtags, and by far the MAGA hashtag shared conspiracy what they were calling low information photos and content. So that's why they are getting suspended and running
I
into.
thought you were going to tell me it was over the racism.
No, no,
And I
that
actually
too.
had something prepared I had something, a comeback for that, because I realized this weekend. I mean, I guess I realized it like long before now, but like I had like real like concrete evidence of my suspicion.
Uh-huh.
But this weekend when because I had reported a bunch of like anti-Semitic comments, like clearly anti-Semitic comments,
Uh,
like the use of the word Zio pig,
oh my God. Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
or the accusation that Zionists are at fault for X, Y, and Z,
Controlling the weather or whatever you're up
which
to.
we do, but
Sure,
you
sure.
know, not in the way that, we want. It doesn't work the way we want because so many of us live in Florida. Why would we aim a hurricane at Florida?
Doesn't make any sense. No.
But anyways, like and like all of these things like that I had like there were and I didn't focus on like things that could be ambiguous. These were like clear anti-Semitic, clearly racist things
Sure.
that were posted. And I reported them all.
Okay.
And not a single one of them were removed.
Mm. Yeah.
Not a single one.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
Wow.
Like I am all for like centering or censoring racist, comment, anti-Semitic comment, you know. I'm all for like calling out like or having consequences for violent rhetoric, you
Mhm.
know, but when you like a group calls this, a certain issue out, and then you don't do anything about it, and then they respond back defensively, aggressively, like that's not violent rhetoric, that's them defending themselves
Mhm.
against the violence of others. And like there's a clear double standard, that the social media uses.
Definitely.
Mhm.
What would this one be? Racism? Mm, what would that be? Yeah, I think you might find it interesting. Maybe I should share this. This is kind of fun. Did you ever look at like Facebook groups on like I report them all speak? You reminded me about reporting because one of my favorite things to do is to belong to Facebook groups that are like super right wing and just get on every now and again and report everything. And like I don't think they get every once in a while they'll be like, "Oh, why is Facebook harassing us?" But I mean, this there's so much hate shit on the internet. It's not even funny. So
Yeah, I have no problem with people doing that, like, you know, but like if it's legitimate stuff, like they need to do something about it. Like
Mhm.
they have an obligation, to their users. I get that they're a private company and, in theory they can do whatever the hell they want,
mhm,
but like if you tell your users this is supposed to be a safe place,
right.
that, you can, have discourse, and be, comfortable knowing that you're not being going to be like harassed or inundated with, racist or anti-Semitic bullshit,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
you should do that. And you should do it consistently,
Yeah.
not just for the people on the right, which they rightfully do it for,
Mhm.
but also for, shit on the left. Like you calling somebody a Zio pig is unambiguous.
No. Yeah, exactly.
And so you went back and followed up to see,
And they didn't
and
do
they
anything
didn't
about
do
it. Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, it sounds a little like Twitter. I mean, that seems to be
Oh,
that
Twitter's a
it
cesspool.
really is a cesspool. It's gotten so much worse.
All of social media is a cesspool. Like the world would be a much better place if like somehow that who lowered I didn't what?
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
What?
I didn't move my cursor. I don't know how that happened.
What happened?
Oh, my hand got raised on my
Oh,
screen.
funny.
Like the world would be a much better place without social media. Like it was supposed to be, when it first, was coming out, like branded as, this way for like the common people to like, get and share information or talk to your grandkids or whatever. But that is not what it is.
That's not what we did with
It,
it.
it's become a vehicle for spreading disinformation, for spreading hate, for also
Mhm.
talking to your grandkids.
Also, yeah, I mean, there's good stuff that happens, but you're right. It's really depressing.
Like
You
the
know,
bad definitely outweighs the good.
so much. And it's like, I still don't understand why people make computer viruses. Like I don't understand why people want to just blow it. Like not the ones that like steal data. Like that I get. But the ones that just like destroy your system, like what is the point of that? I don't understand it. And likewise, I don't understand people who get on like YouTube making videos that are just upsetting, just making horrible accusations, all of that shit. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
They get it because
There's
they
enough
do
to
it
be
because it's
upset about.
profitable.
I guess, but it's just so irritating, right? It is, but it's just so like I don't
There's a
know.
profit incentive.
I know, but
Mhm.
it's just so I don't know. I guess there's no profit in viruses. Computer viruses are still totally useless.
Well, unless
Oh,
you,
there's totally a profit in that.
yeah,
Well, I
you
mean,
can,
if you not just the ones that destroy,
yeah.
but the ones that like, shadow you and find out data and stuff like that. That makes sense. But the ones that just
But even the ones that destroy, oftentimes, they're either used by like bad actors,
Mhm.
or and by bad actors I mean like terrorist type people, or they're used by like scammers
Mhm.
to get you to pay them,
Oh,
whatever
I see. I see.
extortion.
Yeah, hold you hostage,
Ransom, yeah,
ransoms. Okay.
yeah.
But I guess it's just beyond I don't know, just I don't know. I feel like I hope that like there's just like this has been such a crazy ass week for like Nazi type, fascist type, like the MAGA people are out of their mind with the fascist and that rhetoric is just over. Like I can't. How could it get any plainer?
It, I mean, I don't think I don't know. Like, the assertion that Jews control,
Right?
the weather. Nazis are apparently doing search and rescue in Florida.
Nazis are doing search and rescue.
Apparently.
Apparently,
Yeah.
what are you hearing?
I had heard but through some friends of mine, and also um through like I think it was like MSNBC or somebody, that DeSantis is allowing like far right militias
Hmm?
to go down and assist in search and rescue down in Florida.
That's crazy. I'm sure they need that. But I guess they need help, and so they'd rather have those people helping than
Yeah, but that's not really help. Like, I mean, that's not help. I mean, it's help for somebody, just not
Yeah,
the people in need.
the blonde people. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to find out any information about it. I can't seem to find any information about it. Right wing search and rescue. It's just, and then like Trump is just like he's saying so many things. He sounds like a fascist, and like I just don't know like who is like can people just acknowledge that yeah, they can own the libs and all that stuff, but like just do the right thing when it's time to vote. Can they at least acknowledge that this guy's out of his mind? I don't understand this at all. Everybody's research, everybody's looking.
Mhm.
What are we gonna find? What are we gonna find? National Guard. I'm not seeing any. Yeah. Are you finding
Yeah,
any?
it's saying that there's no that they're not there's no indication that that might be true. So
I don't know. Oh no, fake news now. We're spreading more fake news.
the search results primarily discuss the presence of hate groups and the activities of Florida. Okay, hate groups.
Yeah, all right. In Florida.
And that's from
So Florida National Guard assists. I see those.
Well, there was a Wall Street Journal one, but I can't get through the paywall.
Yep.
Hurricane relief
Is it,
worker turns out to be a neo-Nazi.
Ooh, okay, let's do a
Seizing on the
hurricane.
politicization of the government response, white supremacist groups have turned out to help after recent storms in North Carolina and Florida in order to boost recruitment and burnish their image.
Wow.
yep. Yeah, I just found the same thing.
There we go. Daily Mail. They're reputable, but still.
Well, mine is SBL.
Clean cut looking relief workers are white supremacists.
Oath Keepers and Proud Boys.
Oh, so yeah, here it is. So while the alleged neo-Nazi organization was offering aid to distressed locals, members were also filming propaganda videos that promote an image of patriotic civic duty and amplify falsehoods about the government response, the Wall Street Journal reported. Local officials were also unaware that Patriot Front was aiding in relief efforts, noting that the volunteers did not look like typical white supremacists. However, the mayor of one small Floridian Gulf Coast town said he will accept the group's help as long as they aren't trying to force their ideology on locals. Well,
Like that's not remotely acceptable. Like, and
yeah,
also, what does a white supremacist look like other than white?
right? I don't
Or
understand.
and even that can be ambiguous because there's a lot of Latino white supremacists,
I know.
which is weird.
Mhm.
But
I'm just gonna see if there's a video that we can look at, but otherwise there's this video, so let's see. Oops. Hold on. Escape. Yeah, here we go. Let's share that. This will be good, I think. Maybe not.
Mhm.
Now, where is it? Is it this one?
There it is, yeah.
All right. Share, and then we're gonna have this. And then-
is this down in Florida?
I don't think this is it. I think they
No, that's definitely not down for that's
And that's-
DC.
hold on, that's not
They
it.
have, yeah, that police.
This is just a March. I got distracted. So there it is, victim shocked. Here we go. And then I tap this.
Members of
And then we'll do
the
this.
Southeast region gathered here in Horseshoe Beach, Florida, to respond to the utter destruction that Hurricane Helen has left in its home. It's important for American men to gather and help fellow Americans in need. While the federal government is occupied ushering in foreigners and giving them homes and giving them food and giving them water, there is nothing here.
It's not the white
Got a
people.
couple of firefighters, and you have average American citizens cleaning up this wreckage using their own resources. It's important for American men.
That's what they do in
to
Russia.
Master strikes and help their fellow Americans.
Oh, that poor dog.
Then I gotta figure out.
Wait, that
Poor
dog,
racist dog.
that dog's black and white.
Yeah. Well, good for them. Look, we brought a generator.
It seems like an
Not a
average
wheelbarrow.
cleanup. Like the
Yeah.
of course the National Guard isn't there doing that.
Huh?
That's not they're supposed to be there for.
I-
They're supposed to be there to provide like medical assistance, clear the roads, get the power up, provide food. Like,
That's what the white supremacists are for?
no, that's what the National Guard
Yes,
is.
yes. But they're pretending like they're filming it, like I see that.
Yeah, yeah.
all the
They're
time.
using
They're
it as a
pretending like
propaganda film.
that we're not here helping them, and then the regular civilians have to get out and do it. And thank God for the Patriot Front, because they're apparently the only ones that'll help. I mean, it's just such bullshit.
It's gross.
Gross.
It's gross.
It is. Amen. Yes,
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
Like I think that about all of the assholes that are using this tragedy as a political football. Donald Trump
Oh, God. Yeah.
with his bullshit and his lies, fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene with her crazy kookiness, which, by the way, I still want a space laser. Do you know how much
you should
good?
have them. I thought they
Do
came
you
with
know
when
how
when
much
you got
good
your-
I could do with a space laser?
Well, you should have got one. I heard you're supposed to get them at your bar mitzvah.
I must have my synagogue must not have like had any
Yeah, and that's not a
on hand.
guess
You
not.
know, 'cause I
Maybe
never
the
got
space
one.
lasers came after. Maybe that's
Maybe.
relatively new, like it's for the Gen Zers. They got this.
Maybe because I am old.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you probably got something else, like a gift.
I got
Like
gift
a
cards
savings
and
bond.
I got gift cards and money and a CD.
Yeah,
And
there
by
you go.
CD, I mean the financial CD.
Yes. For our age, it was savings bonds,
Yes.
and then they
Mhm.
turned to CDs and meals, and I don't know what you get now. Venmo. But yeah.
I'm also waiting for my Soros check. Like
Yeah, right? You're
Soros
supposed to
hasn't
be
paid me,
getting-
and neither has APAC. I don't know which one is
Sorry.
supposed to do it,
I'm sorry.
but neither have come forward with my paycheck.
Well, that sucks. That's truly wrong.
It is. It's shameful.
It is. I'm sorry.
Shame on APAC
Shame
for
on
not
everybody that owes you
paying.
money because you're supposed to be getting this money. And clearly, if you talk to anyone down south, they know you're getting this money. So
Well, see, the people down south say that it's Soros that's paying me.
yes.
The people, the ultra lefties around here and up north, they say APAC is
Sure.
supposed.
Well, you're clearly both. Duh. Look at the way you're living, man. I mean, you think you'd hide it a little.
Well, I can't say that because I have a pretty nice house.
I was just gonna say that what's that cup made of gold? Huh? Sitting on titanium, is that it?
You know it.
You know, yeah.
That's what's in that little
Full of bars, full of gold
that
bars.
little box back there. That's my
Full
safe.
of gold bars. You're just like, yep. I know it. I know it, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. And Steve and I voted by mail.
Oh, did you?
We drop boxed it.
We're obviously, waiting till day of.
Are you? You're going. You're
Yeah,
going
because it's John's birthday, and John deserves
to vote.
he votes vicariously.
But you're waiting. That's good. I was torn because like I already know that there's lawsuits out right now, like poised for Pennsylvania's mail.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like there
But
is
then-
so much craziness going on,
Already.
including a terrorist plot by ISIS that was foiled by the FBI for election day.
For Pennsylvania?
I don't know if it was Pennsylvania. I saw it in the Inquirer, but
Oh, sounds exciting.
I think it was Oklahoma,
Okay. Sounds
uh,
exciting.
What was the
Oklahoma
plan?
City.
Do they
Huh?
know what the plan was?
Take ballot.
No, I think they were just gonna,
box.
And vote.
I read it the other day, and I think they might have just wanted to like shoot up polling places.
Oh.
Oh, that's very original. Rating crimes.
But they
now.
they
tried harder, really.
it was apparently like one of the Afghan refugees that came over after the withdrawal or during the withdrawal,
Uh-huh.
and he was here on like a visa for that.
Great.
And like I guess he had some connection to ISIS at some point. I don't remember offhand. I could pull it up.
No, that's okay. But whatever if you want to. But that's weird. There you go.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
That is. But I figured that like while I want to make sure my vote counts in one way, that I thought like definitely if you show up, they gotta take it kind of thing. I also thought that I wanted to have some skin in the game when I start complaining about the lawsuits trying to take away my vote that was mailed in. So I came down on the side of I'll be in the fight. So I don't want to be right. So now we can be
Mhm.
like, that's our vote. Yeah.
We'd have standing.
I know I'm standing. So that's what I want. So I deliberately
You expressly did this
Do
to
this.
create standing
yes.
in the courts.
Let's do
Nice.
this. I'm in. I'm in. This is my vote now. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, this is more or less just for John though, like the way we do it.
No.
It would be so much easier to do it your way.
It is easy. So that's nice. Any like extra fleck on the envelope or anything that's weird about it, they can throw it out. And they wanted
We
to
made
like,
sure our hands were in view of the cameras at all times as we were putting the.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh
ballot
my
in.
Lord. That's
Nothing fun to go-
excessive. I
Yeah.
go in, I give my voter ID and or tell them my name, depending on who's in front of me, or like, because some of them know.
I don't think anyone's ever asked me for my ID. They just said, look you up. And then they go.
Well, the voter ID, like the both.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. I haven't had one in,
But like, yeah, or you know,
Ages.
depending, like I said, depending on who's in front of me, you know, sometimes I've just told them my name and they've looked me up and
Mhm.
you know, said go to here and I did that and I did my voting and blah 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 and spit and I'm done.
Hmm.
That's it.
I've been there.
Sticker. Oh, boo. Get the sticker. Get the sticker. Slap it on John.
For a while, every election day, I would share a sticker that I made, and instead of saying I voted, it said I farted. And I always wanted to make them so that people would like, what did
That's
you say?
so great.
It looked
So
just like
great.
it.
John would approve.
I hope so. Always wanted to like do a poll thing and have them made and
Just
be
stick 'em on
be
people as
handing
they
them
go
out
out.
to people and they just assume it's the
Yeah.
I voted sticker before they
Every 9-year-old on earth approves.
right? And the 9-year-old in my head. And so yeah, so Kamala released her medical records, which were
I
quite
did see that. I didn't. There really wasn't anything in it. You know,
oh, they're
it's
better than mine. I
tip
mean,
top
hers doesn't
shape,
even have high cholesterol. She just has a vitamin
which
D.
is amazing.
Yeah,
That is amazing at her age.
I know, right? Like that just happens, but she
I
doesn't.
have high cholesterol,
I'm gonna
and
say,
I'm
like,
like super active.
I know. Don't get me wrong. I've never had it my whole life, and then I hit
Like
like
I
55,
eat
and it's like
well. Like
you're
I'm super
borderline.
active. Still
Yeah,
got high cholesterol.
yeah.
Jesus.
Right. But she doesn't. But she has a vitamin D deficiency.
Also
So
have that.
you have that?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
I
have
take
that.
a vitamin D
Yeah.
pill.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. You have to have that like established because vitamin D you can build up on.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you have that. So we don't, or at least I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Have you had it tested? Yeah, and I don't have hepatitis either.
Nope. Definitely don't have that.
But but I'm supposed to get a hepatitis vaccine because after you're 50, you're supposed to get a hepatitis vaccine because it's.
Well, that's for is
I
it?
thought, yeah, but they said my
Hepatitis
doctor
B,
said
right?
B, yeah,
B.
not A or C
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hep B. So if I'm at risk if I like get imprisoned or something, I'll probably pick it up. So they said
Well,
that I should have it.
well,
But it's like
you
3
wouldn't be
vaccines.
you wouldn't be alone in that.
Yeah,
There are
right.
many people
Yeah.
in prison with Hep B.
Yeah. Like our prisons are full. Like that's literally what it is. Like if you go into prison, so in case like I decided to go streaking again or something. Um,
What are you
well,
fucking 12 or
yeah.
15?
Right. So yeah, so I'll have to get that, but it's 3. It's 3. You have to get it 3 times. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Aren't you did you get the what's the
Shingles.
shingles? Yes.
I got that.
Got that too.
Got that. Got the that was 2. But 3, I've never heard of 3. And also my insurance is like, hey, you just can't get this shit at the CVS. You need to go to your doctor to get it.
Was that the Hep B one?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's
Some insurances let
lame.
you get it at CVS, but my insurance was like, no, you're a weakling or stupid or something, and you have to get it in the doctor's office. So that's like a pain in the ass because the CVS is much closer than the doctor's office, right?
Yeah, I actually have to go to the doctor's tomorrow and I have to go all the way out to Stanton Ave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it was closer. It was closer to where you used to be, right?
Well, yeah. Well, either one would have been, Bringhurst or Stanton Ave is like super close to
Yeah.
to where I used to live. So
Yeah. That's pain. Yeah. Yep.
How'd you find that out about the Hep B thing at the office?
They told me it.
At where?
At
CVS?
CVS. They were like, you see this? You're not getting it. Gotta go to your doctor. And I was like, no, give me. But they're like,
it's that's really surprising because Philadelphia is supposed to be very diligent about trying to reduce Hep B
you'd think mine
and Hep C
right?
because there's like a major like problem with that here.
They were like an epicenter.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd think they'd be happy that someone wants to get vaccinated, but apparently Blue Cross Blue Shield,
You
whatever
think
we
they'd be
have,
handing it out on the corner?
and I'd take it. I'm a dummy. I'll be ready for it. But yeah. What do you do?
Actually, our clinic does hand them out on the corner sometimes.
Really? Have
Yeah,
you
because
guys
we have a STI like van bus. It's really like a box truck that's
Okay,
like converted,
sure.
and we go around to like, hot spots
Yeah, yeah.
in our catch area and like provide like, services for STI, HIV prevention,
Mhm.
testing, other STI, prevention and testing, and that includes you know, uh vaccines for
Perhaps.
yeah.
But that's a 3-1, so I'd imagine that'd be a tough one to have in your van because you have to find the
Well,
same.
you what you do is you give them the initial and then
Oh, and
you
then they let them know you
set
can
up
get
for a
back,
follow-up, at the office.
right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the funny thing is too, if you got to do it at 3 shots at your doctor's office, is that 3 separate appointments? you
Better
gotta
not
make?
be. I'm
Yes.
not
It's like
getting it.
$150.
I'm not getting it.
200 bucks.
But maybe it's included because I wasn't charged for my physical.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Well, they
Well,
let
I
me
mean,
know.
depending on your
Sure.
your office, you should have a sliding scale at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And I imagine we're not seeing the doctor, we're just seeing the nurse or the tech that is the thing. So I don't think it's the same. I disagree. I disagree.
Well, I mean, it should be covered. I mean, I don't know, because you're talking about a copay.
Yes, right.
A cokehead?
Copay.
Yes, I'm talking about the cokeheads
In
the doctor's
How do you
office.
know about my doctors?
Doctor's
Tell me
offices
more.
are
I want to hear.
overrun with cokeheads.
How do you have this dirt on my doctor? But I would believe that they're cokeheads.
No, they're more than likely meth heads
Ah, thank you. The voice of experience. The voice of reason.
that has never done a hard drug in
We're
its
just speaking as though we know. Yes.
life.
Meth, definitely meth. That
I
does
do.
not help
I
me
have
focus
known a
good.
lot of meth heads. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
known a lot of meth heads.
I don't imagine them being passing laws of medical school though.
I
Cocaine,
imagine
cokehead.
many people who did meth or past medical school did meth or
Yeah,
some sort of fucking upper.
right. Meth,
Have
meth
you
is
ever seen what doctors go through?
yeah,
Like
that's why I suggested cokeheads. Meth's a little, I think with meth is a little messier,
it's more probably Adderall.
right? Oh yeah, definitely Adderall. Snorting that shit. Yeah.
But man, the things a meth head can do would astound you.
Oh, sure. Very productive people.
I have seen like a meth head like take apart a car down to the bolt
Mm.
and put that shit back together before he came off of his high.
Damn.
Too bad
In a
the
different
person's like,
location.
what are you doing to my car? And they're like, shh, I'll put it back.
In a different location, no less.
It just dragged all the pieces and then Reed put the car back together somewhere else. If he didn't put it back together on a roof, it was a waste of everybody's time.
Mhm.
It probably was a waste of everybody's time. Yes.
Probably. They're good at that.
But
Yeah.
how else do you think of like robbing, a Wendy's with an alligator?
That's true. Well, I thought that was just like Florida ideas.
That is a Florida idea, but also a meth head idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like it's a bit of both. You got to have a bit of both.
It's a powerful mix, is what that is. So how did everybody fare in the hurricane?
My folks did fine. There were a couple of trees on the property that got uprooted, like
Mhm.
straight up uprooted.
Wow.
And a couple of fence posts that got knocked down.
Mhm.
And by fence posts, I mean like telephone size pole size
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
posts.
Were they anywhere near the tornadoes?
I don't think they had any, and they didn't mention the tornadoes, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were on the southern edge of like the main body of the storm.
Southern Edge.
Yeah, how was that going as it wrote? Yeah, the southern edge was where the water was being pushed, right? And the top was where you were a little.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But they're in the center of the state, so there's no real water being, but they got dumped on.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if they know anyone who's going to be like getting out of there? Because I'd heard a story on the news about it. A guy
Leaving.
talking about people leaving. He's like a therapist and he's got a lot of clients and they're like, this one broke me. This is a lot.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like Florida's not for everybody, and usually the everybody that it is for are the assholes.
Yeah, I mean the insurance, I would guess alone. I mean that can't be.
It is monstrous, like the amount of money. Like I think they pay like 2-3 times what I pay.
God damn.
Mm.
And is it special? Like, is it flood and hurricane insurance? Like, I wonder if it's all now.
I'm
like-
sure they got it. I'm sure they got it all. I don't know for sure
Yeah.
like what their coverage is, but I assume that it's, everything. But
Yeah.
even then, like you have to fight them to get anything. Like my parents just finished like fighting their insurance company to get their roof repaired from last year.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, they had some poor woman on the radio who just paid off it was her last mortgage payment, and the storm came in and just.
Yeah.
just took her whole fucking shit.
She's like, oh, I just had to
Right.
paint that last door.
Yeah.
And then it's
God
like,
damn it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting too. I don't know. Here locally, we saw there was a post shared about the development corporations of
Oh, yeah.
Manayunk, Roxborough, and East Falls got together to do like a study for, what was it? Flood
mitigation.
Flood mitigation study.
Mm.
And one of the recommendations to come out of it was have FEMA buy have FEMA buy out all the places down near the water. So like our business corridor.
Can be a park.
There's
Make it
like-
a park.
That would be the entire business corridor down there.
Yeah, they said, yeah, and they're like, then just make it into like a floodplain or make it into something that's going to be, that mitigates flood.
Yeah, because
I like that
Manayunk, like the main drive in Manayunk, it's like right on
Yeah.
like some sort of creek or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Main Street, and I can't remember the cross, but it constantly floods.
Yeah.
It always gets hit.
And also like Venice Island, they literally have it like their plan is for it to get flooded and then emergency personnel can just get the people out. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, that's not a good plan. We have to pay for them. But they're
But
like,
that's also probably where the conspiracy theory about FEMA
Oh yeah.
taking people's property
Yeah,
is coming
probably.
from.
yeah, because that guy the lawyer who was on the news and he said his dad wasn't taking a dime or anything from FEMA. He
That
was
is
scared
so
too.
fucking stupid.
No. And he wasn't taking water or food, and he was like completely out of everything and like suffering. And
Like,
He's-
you know what? I have no sympathy for you. Like,
No.
if you are that fucking stupid,
all right,
like you
That's
deserve
cultish.
everything you fucking get.
yeah, and like
I know that that's cold and I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that, but you know what? I have no tolerance for stupidity.
I agree though.
None.
Right,
And that is
everybody sent-
just stupid.
it is, and everyone sent him FEMA's latest. Everyone tried to give him educate him, but he just
Yeah, you're willfully ignorant at that point, and it's your own fucking fault.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a shame.
And also Donald Trump's fault.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Are your parents seeing any white supremacists helping with their?
Not if they don't want to get shot. My dad has more guns than God.
Nice.
He's not one any white supremacists coming around.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
You could send them to Venice Island.
true.
You got any stormtroopers we can send out to Venice Island? Good God. Yeah, that's the other thing too about the whole Kamala having a gun thing. People are over their knickers in a bunch about that. She's like, you come into my house, you're gonna get shot. I
man.
mean, what else are you thinking here? We're in America, you dumbasses.
Yeah, right?
Bunch about
People were
Like-
getting upset in the news. Oh boy, is this really something that, I mean, it doesn't seem very, it wasn't
Presidential to have a
presidential wasn't the
gun?
word, but somehow she was almost allowed to have a gun because she's a Democrat and they shouldn't believe in defending themselves. I'm like, what is wrong?
That is so stupid. This is probably from the same people that after Donald Trump was convicted of felonies, or no, was indicted on felonies, and he is not allowed to own
Oh,
a
yep,
gun,
yep,
Mhm.
was given a
Yep.
gun
Yep.
at a gun show.
yep,
Uh-huh.
yep. And he's not allowed to have it.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was the whole thing. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
And that's illegal, but what are we going to do about it? Nothing.
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 Well, on the other hand, a person who has an absolute legal right to have one uses it appropriately for home defense.
Right,
That's the problem.
right. Although I've read some interesting stuff about home defense, you know, the stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
Well, incidentally, like there are apparently a lot of women that are in jail because their significant other attacked them and
Yep.
they took a gun and shot them.
Yep.
But women don't get to stand our ground. If the guy's name is on the mortgage too, apparently they just go to jail, and that doesn't make any sense. So apparently there's some lawyers that are starting to activate.
Well, there have been fights against that, for a long time. I know the Innocence Project,
Mhm.
has done a lot of work around that. I was listening to a podcast, I don't know, if a couple of months ago, maybe almost a year ago,
Mhm.
about a woman in I want to say like Tennessee or something, like who had been abused for like a very long time, and finally, had enough, and after being beat one night, shot her husband or partner, I don't know if they were married or not,
Mhm.
in the head, while he slept, passed out,
Mhm.
because she knew if he when he woke up, he was going to beat her some more, and she knew that she couldn't escape
Yep.
because he would hunt her down.
Right. A lot of times there's kids involved, so she has
Yeah.
to protect her
Yeah,
kids.
I think this was another case where children were involved. She's out of prison now, but
Yeah.
like,
That's stand your ground. You should be, if your husband tries to kill you and you're at home and your home can't be a safe space because your husband's trying to kill you. Well, I'm sorry, husband.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, don't try to kill your wife if you don't want her to shoot you dead when you're sleeping. Because that's what's gonna happen. Especially in a stand your ground place. It should. It should. Like all these people they interviewed in this article, all their kids were saying, like, no, she saved our life. Like we feel our mom saved our life by doing this. And it was a brave thing to do, and she had no choice.
but it goes to like, there's so many problems with the criminal justice system with regard to double standards, bad like legal thinking, like there's a guy in think Texas
Mhm.
that is about to be executed, or maybe it was the other guy in that just got executed, but there's somebody either about to be or who was just executed on shaken baby syndrome,
Oh, right,
Oh.
which
right.
has been long disproved
Absolutely. Absolutely disproven.
for like nearly a decade now.
Yep. Yep. Terrible.
There's an autistic guy that's about to be executed in Texas. That may be the
Right.
same person. Like, and this sort of stuff happens all the time. The guy that I think was executed, like, had absolute definitive evidence of actual innocence.
Yep. And they went ahead anyway. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a case in the Supreme Court right now where a guy is actually innocent, got railroaded in trial, of multiple trials. The prosecution has admitted wrongdoing in the case, admitted to multiple severe Brady violations, and he very well might
He killed.
not get a stay of execution, and very well might be executed.
Isn't that terrible?
Hmm.
Isn't that so bizarre how that can happen? I don't even
But
understand it.
it's so common. Remember the guy that I wrote
Yeah,
about
yeah, that was
a few
bizarre.
years
They
ago?
wouldn't expunge his record, even though they literally know he didn't do it,
Yeah. And it, like it was a similar situation, multiple Brady violations,
right?
like of a severe nature.
Right, right.
Like they
Horrible.
really could have changed the outcome of the case.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was like, oh, just admit to it and we'll let you go. And they're like, I'm not admitting to it. I'm not admitting to it.
Oh God.
You'll have to find a different way. Then like back in jail with you, and then they find the proof, and then they have to grudgingly let him out, but they still don't want to clear his record. They still don't let her went to admit that they were wrong, but they
And
want
he spent
him to
50
do it.
years
It's
in
insane.
prison.
It's insane. And the guy they
37 of
killed,
the
you're right. The guy they
involuntary
killed, the
confinement.
people prosecuted him said, don't believe what we said because it was wrong.
Mhm.
And they killed him anyway.
Look at what's the famous guy? He's like real big in Philly.
Maria.
Mumia.
Mumia, yeah, Mumia.
Oh.
You know, there's ample evidence of actual innocence.
Right, but the prosecutors haven't said it, right?
No,
And
not
the
in
guy
this
that
case.
died,
No.
it was so egregious because the prosecutors themselves said, you know, we're on the side of he did not do this.
Yeah,
Which is
things like this happen all the time. Like there was a bunch of people that were able to be released based on new DNA evidence that they didn't have available at trial.
Yep.
You know, fudged up forensics.
Mhm.
Like it really feels like a lot of times, you know, when it comes to some of these kinds of cases, that they're just guessing.
Right. It's competition because your career is based on how
Yeah,
many convictions you
convictions.
get, right? So they have to be like, oh, that's a big conviction. Oh,
There's a
so they're
reason.
like gambling with people's lives to improve their careers.
There's a reason that there's a 98%,
Yeah.
you know, conviction rate.
Thank you. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And they just
And it ain't because
guilt.
98% of those people are committing the crimes either.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And the bigger the crime, the more delicious it is on your resume because
Yeah.
everyone assumes that it's harder, which it always isn't. But then the cops and the cops too, like they might want to go for DA at some point. They might want to whatever. So the more convictions you have, the better. And it just goes back to show you that our criminal justice system is ridiculous. It's when it's based on punishment and based on conviction and based on, you know, all that negative stuff, what are we setting ourselves up for?
Well, you know, it goes, you know, when they always talk about like, you know, the problems in Philly with regard to, you know, crime in Philly.
Mhm.
But the problem has never been that there aren't enough cops. There's always been an abundance of cops.
Although they say it now, they need more cops.
Yeah.
Always need more. More,
It's never been that because they're not preventing anything.
Oh,
All what they are doing is failing to properly investigate and like find the actual criminals. And when they do find criminals, a lot of times it's like, you know, crazy like mischief to be nice about it, you know, that gets it, you know, beating suspects, uh uh you know, coercing witnesses, like
Mhm.
crazy shit like that you should be appalled at.
yep. And it's like happens every time. Like
Yeah.
par for the course. They like take videos of it to show each other so they can be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. Isn't this great? We're part of the team. Yeah, are you looking at something, Steve? What is it, Denmark?
Yeah.
My retirement plan is going in Denmark.
I don't know if you saw that, but it's a really funny post. There you go.
This one is this one. This one.
To the right. There you go. You just want to share that.
Oh yeah. Is that it? That's it. There
you go.
Retirement plan is going.
Yeah.
Went to bed at like 6 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, because
Got
you're
up
up all
at
day
noon.
studying. I mean, I'm working on a.
Work, yep.
There it is.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
nicer than my house.
I know, right?
I love that. That's got a great feel to it. Yeah, I'm always amazed that again, we watch a lot of the murder shows, and over in like Europe, it's like, oh, you're gonna get life. It's 25 years. And then, if it's particularly egregious, maybe you get 30. But that's like the maximum sentence.
Yeah, well, yeah. Danny does that too. She watches all the murder mysteries.
Yeah,
They're exciting.
they are.
I am not excited
No,
about that.
no.
Which is ironic because I love like horror movies.
Yeah, but it gets too real.
They don't show any gore though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but then you can go online afterwards and find it all.
Yeah.
Not that I would. That would be weird. Who does that? No, not me.
I do listen to like true crime podcasts though, but I always listen to it from the perspective of like, finding people that are innocent and like proving people's innocence.
That would be your. That's your jam.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be you. That makes sense. I just like hearing the depraved things people do to each other. Not that I like it, but I don't know. I guess it makes me feel good that it's not happening to me.
Oh wow. There was something that we were watching the other day. I think Danny found it on like YouTube or something
Mhm.
about this guy that had like basically hacked up his wife.
Ah.
But he had like dementia,
Mhm.
like early onset dementia,
Mm-hmm.
and like so it wasn't his fault.
Well, he
Like,
didn't know who she was at the time he hacked her up or something.
no, I think she did. He did, like, but like for whatever reason, like the dementia like had formed like a deep rooted hatred, like a visceral hatred for her
Hmm.
in that moment. And
Okay.
like it was brutal. Apparently, like several of the cops that found the body like puked.
Oh my God. They're like, wow, that's overkill and overkill,
Yeah. Oof.
right?
Yeah.
I
But
knew
at the same time, it also wasn't his fault. Like he's sick, like
no, yeah, he's
dementia,
sick.
like
Yeah, he's not himself. A friend of mine in college, her grandparents were very elderly, and they were ascribed to the same nursing home. And when they were like there, she just started beating the crap out of him. So they each had to have their own separate. They had shared rooms, but with different roommates, and they were perfectly fine as like a see each other in the hall, kind of have lunch and meals together. But if she had to live with them, she's gonna kill him. Mom,
though, after you've been married long enough, that's a
right?
perfectly reasonable.
Do not have a gun in your house.
Do not make sure grandma did not want to be living with him. No, I don't
I'm
want
sure
him possibly coming to me. Yeah.
I'm sure when Danny and I are like in our 90s, if we live that long, she'll want to beat me up all the time.
Right. There's a lot there. But he was just like, but she was, yeah, she'd always been a very nice lady, but dementia kind of changed it. And she just was looking at him like, yeah. So, yeah.
You.
Yeah. So that there are other people around, she was fine, but together.
Yeah.
No.
And that's sad, I can't wait till, they figure out a cure for that.
But
Which they always seem like to be on the edge of
so
and
good.
not quite there,
Yeah, but they'll get there.
Mhm.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that. Sorry.
All right. So I think, what are we at? We're at
We're at 3.
We're at 3.
We're at 3. I'll do more prep next time. I think I tried this time, but it's been such a busy week that we'll get
Yeah,
there.
it was. There was just so much going on, like I said, between October 7th, between Yom Kippur, between
The
the show
hurricane,
and
all that new, yeah.
Danny. Like I haven't even
All right, yeah.
sat down to watch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, I did sit down to like watch like the new episode, the last new episode of Daryl Dixon. So there's that.
I know who Daryl Dixon is.
Walking Dead.
Oh,
right,
yes, there you go.
okay,
Sorry.
that's
Sorry,
yeah,
thank
spin-off.
you.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Well, 'tis the season.
Because I'm a zombie nerd.
you go.
The only kind of nerd you are? Really
Oh,
just-
I'm all the nerds.
Multi nerd.
I'm all the
I am
nerds.
all the nerds.
You're in the nerdiverse. You cover the nerdiverse.
The difference is this nerd can snap your neck.
And nerds don't have to be weak. Nerds are
No,
not
it
weak.
could be a strong
You could
nerd.
be a very strong nerd.
Yeah.
A violent nerd even. Yeah, over here.
I don't think they're very violent nerds.
I don't know. I don't know.
Unless you consider, well, some of the serial killers, I guess, because they were
Right.
pretty smart people, though probably not nearly as smart as they thought they were.
Mm.
No one ever is when they get to killing. Because it's really not about the smarts. It's about what you're
It's
feeling
about
here.
the focus and the fact that you have no shame. There's no empathy, no
There's
shame.
nothing, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just single-mindedness. So yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
can get a lot done when that happens.
Be very productive.
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
only you turn your
Anyways.
skills to your focus to something
Too good. Yeah,
Yeah. laundry.
yeah.
Laundry. I guess I know what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, I
Makes
don't
the
know.
world a better
It
place.
does.
Yeah.
It does. On that note,
Doing laundry does make the world better.
it does. Thank you for respecting that. I love